Hello, and welcome to Ordo Scriptorium, a horror RPG show revolving around our cast of intrepid authors looking to unsolve a mystery and perhaps save a life. This RPG is a gothic horror. All of our characters play authors who are drawing their power from gothic writers such as Bram Stoker and Mary Shelley to fight the forces of darkness and creatures from beyond the curtain. As always, I am joined with my wonderful players, starting from the angles that I can see them at. We have Bonnie Carlton, played by Kayla. Say hi, everybody.
Oh.
And
did Kayla say hi?
She did. The sound didn't happen.
Okay. We can read your lips. She said hi.
I was about to say, I just wanted to hear her voice because we can't read her lips through the whole thing.
Next up, we have Elliot Craig, played by Neil.
Jola.
We have Rex Johnson, played by Corey.
Hi.
And Preston Howlett, played by Zachariah. How are you doing, Zach?
I am good. I do also want to point out the OMG names for Neil is a tiny wizard because it's required in every recording that he's in, and also required Kayla is a small mage because that irritates Neil. So there we go. And also, it's Preston Thaddeus Howlett. We say it with the middle name and with the chest.
Oh,
yes.
Excuse me. You're absolutely correct.
Everybody's least favorite character.
Let's do a real quick recap. You guys are in a small rural North Maine village, completely cut off from the rest of the world, trying to track down a stalker, a supernatural creature that is apparently kind of going into people's sleep and attacking them through nightmares of some kind. That's what you've been able to uncover so far. You turned up at this sound just in time for the latest victim's wake. Last session, 2 sessions ago, you prevented a young woman from being murdered. She then has sort of attached onto you guys. She followed you back to the quaint little cottage hotel that you guys are staying at, and you've sort of taken it under your wing. The next morning, you guys sort of split up. Rex had an appointment with the local sheriff, and Preston Thaddeus Howlett accompanied him there, where you guys proceeded to sort of snoop around the sheriff's office very stealthily, while also performing a few shenanigans in order to get a better cover for Rex. Preston kind of exploded on the sheriff, ended up slapping him across the face, and as a result, getting thrown right in the slammer.
Sometimes you gotta slap a bitch. Sometimes.
Before doing that, he was able to uncover a few clues. Rex was also able to uncover a few clues, some letters from the dean describing, that this is a cover-up that they need to maintain. That's very important for the college. Additionally, there was a coroner's report sort of describing the overboiled states of the brain of the victim, the latest victim, a young Peggy, who was a student at the local college. At that point, we have Bonnie and Elliot, who took the survivor, the stalker's presumed next victim, to her classes, not knowing what else to do. They also wanted to snoop around the college a little bit, try to uncover a little bit more information. They decided to part ways with the girl and then a young Emma, and meet up with her at the end of her school day to kind of bodyguard her a little bit. While she was in classes, the first place that Bonnie and Elliot wanted to investigate was the school's library, which I believe is a great place for us to pick up. So, it's late-ish morning, around 9-ish by the time you guys get there. You guys are standing in front of this beautiful Art Deco architecture of a library. It's a giant glass window above these two oaken wooden doors. There's an etching carved into that glass. You guys have already identified it to be similar to the symbols you have located in mysterious locations already around the school and in Peggy, the first victim's dorm room, or apartment, rather. What do you do?
So, what were the different checks to investigate stuff around here?
So, I guess if you guys go into the library, which I think you guys had said last time you were headed in, yes?
Yeah.
I believe yes.
Okay, then you guys are entering the investigation area, and there are several clues within this investigation area. And the skills used for these clues that are sort of around this whole library, you have to kind of look around a little bit. But some of this... Well, actually, I think I need to tell you the clues... The skills that you use once you get up to the clue, once you kind of find the clue. Does that sound right, Zach?
You can do it any way you want, but the investigation, they get to know the skills that they have to use for the clues, so that the party can decide who's taking the skills ahead of time, basically, and that there will be 3 clues in an investigation site.
Okay, so let me start off by describing to you the inside of this library. It is a very large library. It's probably one of the largest single buildings and rooms in the entire college. It has multiple wings, multiple floors. From the entrance, the foyer just opens up into this huge, wide space, and you can tell immediately that there's sort of a symbolic occult thing going on here. There's a huge symbol in the center of a complex symbol in the center of the foyer. Beyond that, you see that there are these dusty stacks all over the place, books, bookcases, sort of leading off into whole different sections of this enormous library. You go upstairs, and it almost looks like there's a labyrinth that you've just walked into, a labyrinth of knowledge. And at the center, right beyond the foyer, is sort of like the information desk, so to speak. That's where the librarian is sitting.
So then, I think I would walk up to the librarian, kind of introduce myself, and just immediately before she really gets that chance, they get a chance to answer, ask what the deal is with the symbol on the ground. Because I'm assuming this symbol has not been seen anywhere else around the school, judging by the description.
It is not. It is a large circular symbol with just series of interlocking lines, all descending towards a center location at the very center of the symbol, a central triangle. And the librarian will look up at you and say, "Oh, that's the that was something that the founder of the college put in. Something about do you know, how much do you know about the school? Are you one of the uncles of one of the students? Are you visiting a class?"
Yeah, just visiting, just kind of like mumbling through it. Yeah, a family visit. Yeah.
Bonnie, you gotta stop letting him talk, man.
Roll a manipulation check.
There it is. There it is.
Manipulation, persuasion.
9 none of these things I have.
Yep.
Or manipulation, charisma.
A stellar 3.
Jesus.
Stellar 3.
That is a fail of all the fails.
She looks at you kind of funny. She looks at you up and down. She looks at your chain belt. Her eyes squints a little bit.
He's still just standing there, eyes locked, waiting for the response.
Unable to pick up on social cues of any sort.
Yeah, so that was put in by the founder of the college. What are you looking here for, sir?
Maintenance.
What?
Maintenance. What are you?
Yeah, I heard.
Are you? What maintenance? Are you the janitor here? Are you the maintenance?
Well, maintenance, janitor, it's all kind of the same thing here. You know, with budget cuts and everything, we kind of have to roll everything all into one. Where are your guys' heaters at? I need to take a look at those.
Right. Okay, that's gonna need another manipulation.
Oh, God damn it! God damn it!
So many lies.
I had to mute myself
4.
twice during that because I was laughing so hard. Once for just the fact that he yells out maintenance, and then twice because when I stopped and unmuted, I looked up and just saw Kayla with all of her fingers on her forehead. And I was like, oh no. And I had to mute it again.
Yeah, I got a 4.
Well, he's
Got a 4.
Bonnie tried to
Oh. Oh.
And we lost her.
Interesting.
Oh, you're back.
Very interesting.
So what was that, Bonnie?
well, he's distracting the librarian. Can Bonnie try to sneak off and see if there's any doors or any part of the library that's clearly not used very often?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just
Okay.
for quick context, why do you guys think the library is part of it?
It's always the library.
No, I thought there was a factor that led you guys here. I just don't remember what it is.
Did I write it down?
Oh man, have I opened?
I think you guys are looking
Have I
for
opened
the
a rat's
archives,
nest?
or you're trying to look for admissions. You're
Here
trying
goes-
to figure out.
That's it, yeah.
Here goes Zach again, just showing the weakness.
Zach, can I say, for once in my life, I have, it's all white out. I finally have notes written down for things about what's happened.
Good job.
So-
This is definitely a game that requires notes, which I enjoy.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
I
quite a
have
bit.
notes, but none of them pertain to why we were in the library.
Same here. Same here. I've got 7 index cards of notes, and none of them say why we're in the
I
library.
never write notes about anything.
Yeah, I know. This one's definitely a needed note taker.
Yes, it is. All right, so you kind of want to sneak off, right, Bonnie?
Yes.
All right, so why don't you roll me a stealth agility check? See if you can't sort of slide by while she's distracted. You're calling this one. I'm gonna go ahead. This is not going to be a contested one, so I'm gonna say that the honestly. Yeah, you know what? I think it's fair for the difficulty to be a 5. This woman is very absorbed in the conversation that she's in the middle of.
Kayla just dropped out again.
I don't know what's happening.
Are you using the hard line or the wireless?
The hard line. It's something with the webcam itself.
Oh.
Oh,
It's
cat
definitely.
is chewing on it.
Ah, that'll do it.
That'll do it. That'll do it. Always the pets with you two. Always the pets. For like 4 years, it's always the pets. It's always something about pets with Kayla and Neil every time.
I rolled a 21.
Whoa!
Jesus.
Yes.
Bonnie dropping the hot heat, man.
You dip out of that room with trying to avoid all of the embarrassment that is going on across the room with this poor librarian who's confused about maintenance without any trouble.
Maintenance!
Like I said, this is a vast library, Bonnie. You end up in another wing of the library. This wing is actually pretty extensive, and it is ancient art. With this portion of the investigation area, I can go ahead and tell you that in this area you will very much need to use the available skills to use to find a clue in this area is going to be mechanics, phylactery, bestiary, and knowledge. And
bestiary and knowledge.
back over to Neil.
What about an elevator? Is there an elevator that needs worked on around here or something? I feel like there's an elevator that needs worked on.
Is she making an investigation roll? Like the actual investigation roll? Bonnie? The only she that's here?
No, it's the librarian trying to figure out what the fuck.
No, I meant her bestiary roll that you just had Bonnie make. Is she making an investigation?
I was one of the options.
Yeah, but it's one of the clues, is what I'm saying.
Yes, it is an investigation for the clues, yes.
I was just bringing up the chart for when she gets her result, was all I was saying. Okay. I didn't mean to, like, throw everything for a loop there.
No, I got you. I just wanted to wrap up with...
things.
Dude.
I wanted to wrap up with the crisis of Elliot's lies.
Crisis. You're going to end up in jail next to me.
You know, we don't have a elevator. I think maybe I should give somebody from maintenance a call. Maybe they might be able to help you out. Why don't you just go have a seat over there in the foyer, sir?
Yeah,
She goes over to pick up the phone.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And I'm like looking around for Bonnie, and I assume I don't see her.
She has disappeared into the stacks.
Mm-hmm.
She's
all right, Bonnie.
Straight Naruto'd away.
You are in a hall of ancient art. So this is art from people from ancient civilizations. A lot of it seems to just have...
I'm sorry, I got a theory. I'm just...
somebody is meta-owing. Meta-grumbling?
Sorry, I disrupted again. I'm being very disruptive today. I apologize.
It's one of those nights. We're playing on one of those nights. So the hall that you're looking down is ancient art. It's very large, very long. A lot of the art does seem to come from the sort of a similar, just at a glance, you can tell that it's kind of coming from a similar civilization. The displays are sort of thematically set up in the same manner for a huge portion of this art. And yeah, that's what you sort of see. You see all of these different pieces of different artifacts from the ancient world. What were you going to roll for your investigation check?
Bestiary.
So bestiary, and don't forget, you can use an attribute tied to that as well.
Well, you say the attributes.
Okay.
You set the attributes.
So it'd be definitely bestiary and intelligence.
Okay. Well, I rolled a nat 20.
Holy shit!
Okay.
All right, so she gets a small piece of role-playing knowledge about the stalker. She also gets 3 total yes or no questions about the stalker based on this discovery.
Okay.
And you only get 2 darkness points from that.
Right. Oh, I need to add my darkness points. The all important darkness points for me.
I mean, if you didn't want to add them, don't.
No one's making you do anything.
Nah. It's just the whole like thing that gives me any power within the game.
Every session, I weigh whether I want to give up money to take darkness points away from you or not. It's like one of my powers, but I'm like, I don't know. I have a lot of money right now. I don't know if I want to not have that anymore.
Yeah, that's pretty pinnacle to your character's identity.
It is pinnacle to him. Yeah.
That's called character progression.
Character growth, and I don't think he's reached it. Okay.
It's not about the destination, it's the friends you make along the way.
Okay, so Bonnie, what you find when you're sort of examining these various artifacts, you do see, like I said, there's a large group of artifacts that seem very similar to each other, that could come from the same ancient civilization. The majority of this wing is sort of these artifacts. One thing that you find pretty significant is a repeating motif of an eye or eyes within these various artistic renderings, these ancient renderings of various mosaics or even just like small sections of tablets that have come. But one thing stands out particular to you. It is this mask with this huge eye in the center of it, and all of these sort of like tassels coming off all around this mask. You feel like there's something there as you look through all of this art. It almost seems like it's central. It's a central like aspect or idea to the nature of this culture. And as you realize it's not just its culture. It's almost this cult-like fascination with this something that you haven't quite figured out exactly what it was. It could be the creature you're looking for.
Now you get to ask your questions.
2 questions.
3 questions. She net
3,
20.
that's right.
She's got a full 3.
You nailed it.
To the fucking wall.
I'm like the worst person to nail it, though.
Well, how open to table talk are you, Wiz? Because I could feed her a couple of questions.
We're just getting onto this game. We've had a little bit of a break. To start off with, let's be a little bit more relaxed with table talk, cross talk a little bit.
Perfect.
Get everybody. This is the first time everybody's playing this game too.
Kayla, I think you should ask if the art is a specific component of how this thing hunts. Because I feel like this is an art school. Everybody who it's killed has had, or gone after, is like an art student and draws these eyes everywhere. I almost feel like the art is some sort of like baseline component to how this thing hunts.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And then you could also ask about the mask, if that has anything directly to do with the creature, like if it's some sort of weakness or something along those lines. I mean, I don't know how you form that as a yes or no, but those were my 2 ideas.
Is his is its central power coming from that mask? Like, is it housed in the mask?
No, it is not housed within this mask.
Okay.
Or I said that in a weird way. It's not housed in any mask. I don't want to give the wrong impression.
Okay.
I feel
just find the right mask.
Overemphasis.
We suddenly just go on a separate quest for a mask that has nothing to do with anything.
I didn't want to send you guys down like the wrong road by accident there.
That's the nature of the yes or no question, is it could really send you in a direction where you're like, they went on a 4-hour hunt of like, they thought it was a rabbit. It's not a rabbit. It just was a misunderstanding, you know?
Yeah.
So if I ask again about the the ancient art, is it considered one of my 3 questions, or can I ask as like a refresher of what you said?
You can definitely ask as a refresher of what I said, as not one of your
Okay.
questions, but just as a description of what you're looking at.
Yeah, so like, is it all clearly from like the same culture, or is it like almost like a history of arts?
It is a little bit of a history of art, but the majority of this wing is all from the same culture.
Okay.
This is like the centerpiece of this wing, is all this art from this culture.
Okay. Is the stalker connected through these any art pieces with eyes involved?
Rephrase that for me, just so I have a better understand what you're asking.
So, is the stalker getting through the school with art that uses these eyes that are in these paintings?
No.
Okay.
Can I throw one other thing out at you, Kayla?
Sure.
And this is something you would straight up know from the book and from your knowledge of bestiary. There are 3 like straight up weaknesses that like the eldritch horrors, like every one of the creatures that this thing can like a stalker can manufacture has like 3 baseline weaknesses that it could be. Like you don't get to know specifically what it is, but one of these 3 it could be. The Eldritch Horror has 3 of them. There's ritual, incantation, or iconography as one of them, imagery or radius, and then damaging under the weaknesses.
What page is that on?
That is on... that is on 27 of 59 for baseline Eldritch Horror.
Okay.
So... if I might throw this out, because you guys still have 2 more investigations at the library to get more.
Actually, I was going to play around with this one a little bit because it was a minimum of 3 that we had for investigations, and I thought maybe we could probably put a few more investigations in here.
Okay, all right, well... okay, all right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Like investigations spots or
clues.
Clues. Okay, yeah. That's totally fine. But still, you have at least 3. We might want to try and nail down which of those weaknesses this Eldritch Horror has, just so that we have a leg up when we do have to fight it. Just a thought.
Yeah, I'm reading it. Like, do my questions have to pertain to what Bonnie is seeing at that moment?
Yeah. You can get creative with it, but yeah. Like, you could definitely ask the question of, is it drawn specifically to a certain type of artist, because you're looking at a bunch of art that potentially has to deal directly with the Eldritch Horror. So you could say, hey, you know what I mean? You couldn't ask for the art specifically, but you could be like, is this kind of art going to draw the creature? You know what I mean? Or something like that.
Or is this ritual / incantation / iconography, specific iconography that you're thinking of, going to do something to the creature, a weakness of the creature? Is this specific image going to be a weakness for the creature? Is this specific damage thing, a weakness of the creature?
Right.
So what I'll say is, like, if you look around at the other, because I this is a matter of describing the room that you're in as opposed to this specific item that's the clue.
Mm-hmm.
When you're looking at all of the artwork across this wall, you're not seeing like a theme of fighting anything or fighting a creature. If anything, it seems more of a religious theme or of some kind, maybe even zealots or like just completely absorbed with the symbols and the elements that are depicted there. So this is like more like you're looking at the Sistine Chapel as opposed to like an uprising, a depiction of an uprising.
Okay. So, like, it was like a god almost that they looked up to.
Just at a glance, looking at all of the artwork through this, you would definitely see more of a religious element. So yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
You're putting too much
No.
pressure on yourself.
Yeah, no.
I can tell you're really stressing about this.
I am.
It's just
The
a
idea of
game.
the other
It
players
doesn't
coming out
matter.
now?
It doesn't matter at all. It doesn't matter. You can ask whatever. You can ask if this creature likes ice cream. Nobody here's gonna get mad at you.
I'm trying my goddamnedest to get questions ahead of time too, because whenever it comes to my turn, we're gonna be in the same spot.
This is when the real horror starts, though. I'm glad that Kayla is freaking out over here, because that means we've done our job
Yeah, I
as
guess.
horror writers.
Yeah, I guess.
The suspense,
The
the
suspense.
fear.
This is.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Well, while she thinks about it, switch over to Elliot. See if
Yeah.
he can't.
Elliot,
Maybe he just beat the librarian to death, and then
Please don't
got
do
a
that.
chain. What do you do?
maintenance.
So at this point, I'm operating under the assumption that because she's having me sit down, that she's calling somebody to escort me away. Whether or not that's the case, we'll find out. But this is just a librarian. I guess while I'm sitting here waiting, the symbol, while I don't have a history of it, is that one of the things that we're able to investigate to figure stuff out, or no?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It is a clue that you can investigate.
All right, so I figure I may as well do that while I'm hanging out here.
Okay, let me go ahead and check my notes. Let me give you the various skills that you can use in order to investigate this symbol on the ground. Perception, knowledge, and actually mechanics.
Hey.
Ooh.
So mechanics and perception then.
He just starts hitting the symbol with a wrench. Mechanics! Maintenance! Maintenance!
17.
Ooh.
17.
That's the full battery. If I recall
Yeah,
correctly.
that's outstanding.
So that's 3 questions
All right.
and the general lore.
All right, so general lore, as you're looking at this thing, you see this big, like I said, it's a big circular symbol, very, very complicated, with sort of descending rings and all of these cross-section lines in it. Going down towards the center, and in the center there's a sort of a triangle. All of these lines eventually coalesce to a triangle at the center of this pretty big ring. It's fills up the majority of the foyer's entrance. So with your mechanics skills, you're able to suss out. You're really good at sort of looking at designs, looking at how things are working, how things are put together. That's just, what you've been doing forever. And you realize that this isn't just a symbol. This isn't just a huge, arcane glyph or something like that. It's actually got a pattern to it. There's just something about it that your mechanical mind sort of pieces together, and you realize that this is actually a maze. This is a huge maze that you're looking at. It's kind of a big puzzle to try and figure out. And as you're looking at it, all of the angles in there are also just like perfect. There's something about them. It's like the same way that an engine would be put together. They're concise. They're there for a purpose. The lines are separated by an exact dimension as they all descend towards the center in some manner.
Maintenance!
It's maintenance. Just
Maintenance.
start slamming it.
So obviously, mechanic, yeah. Your mechanic skills are skilled here. So you got 3 questions.
All right, buckle in for another 20 minutes.
Yay! Would you like suggestions from me? I like to give suggestions. If you do not want suggestions, I will shut up. It's hard to believe, but I can do that.
Zach can. I don't know that Preston can.
No.
So I
Preston's
guess
not in the scene though.
I guess because this is where my mind went to first. This pattern on the ground, is it like a locking mechanism of some sort, or no?
It is not.
Okay, that's gonna throw away the rest of what I had lined up.
That wasn't bad though.
It wasn't. That's a good start.
How about is this thing like a protection?
No.
Okay.
Like a protection, like
Yeah, maybe be a little bit more clear as what you mean
Ward.
by protection. Like a ward, like the symbol is a ward.
a ward
Yeah.
against the stalker.
No, it is not.
Damn. Now I'm kind of stumped.
I think I have my last question.
Yay!
Maybe. Do you want me to ask it while he's thinking?
Yeah.
Okay.
We all want you to understand.
My last question I could think of is the mask like a cult ritual type of mask?
No, it is. Well, actually, yeah, it would be. Yes.
A clarifying question then about the description of the glyph on the ground. You said it was like a labyrinth. Like a labyrinth in that it is set up a very particular way to, like, it's very exact in its composition, or it resembles that of an actual maze?
Both.
Okay.
Both. It is very clearly actually a maze that you could go down or draw a line through it, like, you would. It's very complicated, but it's also very precise. It's not just, like I said, your mechanical mind was looking at this and you're like, every angle seems to have almost like a rhythm to it of some kind, and it's extremely intricate.
Is this a map?
No.
Well, shit.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
that was a really good one.
Really good one.
Yeah, that was a really good one. Hey, don't kick yourself for that one. That was your best question so far, I think.
Oh, well.
Your
You guys
best question ever.
We do have more
I wasn't
clues
trying
in
to
this.
make it a jerk, but I was really trying to compliment him.
It was a good question.
It was a good question.
It actually was.
Oh, no.
Now you guys are overcorrecting and making me feel dumb.
You guys have one more clue somewhere in that library, at the very least.
Yeah, you'd probably be the better one to go find that, unfortunately. I hate to put you in that position, but...
He doesn't.
Okay.
He really doesn't.
He doesn't care.
I am running fucking distraction right now, so...
You're doing such a good job at that. Okay.
So, I'm trying to think of what else. I mean, we've basically looked at the... Because the symbols on the window are basically everything that we've already seen effectively before. There's nothing different there, right?
Right, yeah. You were able to... Yeah, you were able to look at that window, and I think that's when you guys figured out that symbol encarved in the window was this mint mine. So it was very clearly the stalker sort of claiming his territory.
So I remember we were trying to come here to look to see about the admissions and everything, but I can't remember why we were looking at that.
I believe. I think
To find out a history of the deaths.
Yes.
Like, you guys were trying to find more dead people so that we could make a connection to the original girl. You know what I mean? Because the only one we know about is her. That's it. And then somebody said to you guys that there had been, like, a series
lots
of killings.
Of people just going away.
Yeah, over the course of however long the college has been around. So you guys went to missions to find, the connection between the dead people.
That's right.
Is there a door anywhere that's like that says like faculty only or like admissions office or anything?
Go ahead and just roll a perception. What do you got? Awareness check.
I would
you
say
have
awareness.
Okay.
There's an actual investigation.
Yeah. It's yeah.
Well, I rolled a 1. That is 3.
Big library. It's so big here.
It's ginormous.
It's big. It's a big library.
I am overwhelmed with library.
I bet you there's books.
Their library.
There's books. There are bookshelves. There's more books.
I doubt the librarian's desk would have anything. I mean, you went into the art wing. Is there a restricted section?
Roll a perception, awareness.
Well, I guess since I brought it up, I'll look for it and deal with however I gotta deal with it. Well, it's fine because I rolled a whole 3.
Oh, you guys.
I'm ditching this die.
Right now, Jesus Christ.
That's why I grabbed a handful of 20s.
Not going well. For
You
Bonnie
see that
and
there are
Craig.
lots of rooms on various floors of this library. There are rooms.
I like the way you think.
Let's jump over real quick to Rex, and then we can come back to the investigation scene in just a little bit. Let's see what the other two people are doing.
Hey, you got 4 darkness points from all that, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Not to be that guy or anything. Okay, what were we doing? Have we just left the police station? I thought he had let me go. Like,
No, he's still in the office. He hasn't even come back yet.
okay, cool.
Yeah,
You're
in the.
He
You're
left me in there with my gun, if I recall correctly.
Yeah,
He didn't even pat you down. He just tossed you in there, like pissed off.
Are you starting on Rex or me then?
I was gonna start on Rex.
Okay. I got lockpicks. I'm busting out of this bitch.
Huh.
He didn't pat me down. I still got him.
That's true. That's 100% right. This is 1950s. Police work was different back then.
Exactly. Not good.
They also hit people more.
They did.
That's also true.
They did. They did.
All right, Rex, you're in the sheriff's office.
Yeah,
you just uncovered the various letters from the coroner and from the dean of the college, revealing pretty important information. Is there anything else you do before the sheriff gets back? Try to do?
I closed everything up, make it look as disheveled as it was, not like I was snooping around, and then I sat back down in my chair.
Okay. A moment later, then I'm gonna say that doesn't take you too long. So there's not gonna be any checks or anything necessary, I don't believe, for just closing a drawer. So a moment later, the sheriff comes back into the office and says, "Your employer, he's got a real bad attitude." He looks pissed off.
He's got a real bad attitude and a real big bank account. That's all I can say.
That's all
I
I
guess
can
everybody's
say.
got to put bread on their table, but that one's likely to get you just as much in trouble as he is himself. You know what I'm saying?
No, I completely understand. Usually, I don't like to bring people with me. He kind of pushed his way in. By push his way in, I mean he offered me a large lump sum of money to come with, so I just said yeah.
All right. Now listen, this is what I was saying before that dandy boy started mouthing off.
You did talk bad about his sister, and you guys said you were trying to cover it up, so I can see where he got a little upset.
Look, we're not trying to cover up Peggy's death. Everybody knows she's passed away. We're gonna send her body back to her family. Brother can take it home, just the way it's been planned. And I understand you all want to understand what happened here. I get it. I just, like I said to you before, this has got to reflect. This must not reflect badly on the college. All right, that college has brought a lot of jobs to this community, and it's going to be bringing more.
Wouldn't you say the openness of an establishment to work with law enforcement and families in spot of a crisis, the openness to do that would, I would argue, bring in more people, as like, oh, good people work here, good people run the place.
Yeah, sure, as long as that's the story that everybody's getting and not this is where Peggy died.
No, this is not going to be this is where Peggy died. This is going to be, unfortunate mishap happened, and the good people up there in that college took their time, were diligent, and really put some care and love into the situation.
All right, roll a charisma manipulation.
I only have charisma. $16.
Okay, and I didn't give you the difficulty, but given everything that's happened, it was going to be 15. You got a 16. You did pass it. So he sort of leans back in his chair, sort of eyes you for a second. All right, that's the tune I want to hear singing, all right?
Absolutely. I get it. I mean, I run a business myself. I can understand where everybody here is coming from.
All right. Well, if you're trying to calm down these incidents, which is something I want to, I mean, whatever happened the other night, I don't like to think about. It was some kind of nightmare. I don't know if I was dizzy or not, but if that's the kind of thing that is going on, I mean, honestly, that's not the first time I've heard of something that's bizarre happening. Though I can't say that the source of this information is particularly credible. I can say that somebody has been talking about mysterious things happening for some time. I can give you his name. Maybe you can suss out what's real and what's not. You're an investigator. That's your job. I suppose you can do that. As long as we remember that it's the college that's supporting the understanding of what's really going on. Something digestible.
Absolutely.
Alright, there's a old fella. Used to be a pretty prominent member of this community some years back. After the college was built, lost his wife, kinda got a little unhinged. He was a captain. Creedy, his name.
No, right?
He lost a lot after, not just his marbles, after his wife died. He's talking about all this spooky stuff happening in this town. Kind of. Well, everybody just blows him off, you know? Nobody wants to hear about shadows or ghosts or whatever the hell he's talking about, but after the other night getting a little vexed myself, might not be a bad idea for you to look in that direction. He lives just north of the docks, a little cottage out there, in from the beach, a ways in the trees in the forests. Keeps to himself mostly. Might be able to find him out there. Like I said, he's a little kooky. But I mean, you can figure out how to keep this college going, keep kids coming here, supporting our town, supporting our community. That means maybe not so many accidents happening. Well, maybe you just go have a conversation with him.
Sounds good to me. Well.
Yeah, she's back.
Yep. I do have a small favor to ask, because, if I let him rot in a cell for more than an hour, you know how these uppity folks are, probably won't get paid as much as I'd like to. So, I know he did you wrong, and I completely understand what you did. But if you could let the kid out of the cell, I'll keep him out of trouble, I'll keep him with me, attached to the hip.
Okay, roll a manipulation charisma, and the challenge is going to be hard. This guy does not like Preston. It's going to be 15.
Okay.
He's got a nice handprint on his face from him.
I got an 18.
Okay. I don't like the idea of the brother of that young woman sitting in my cell gathering gossip, and he sort of looks out the window of his office at the old matron woman who's running the front desk. Alright, listen. I don't want to see him again. You get your facts and you get out of my town and you get this figured out. But you keep him out of my way. You got it?
On a short leash, 100%.
He'll toss you a key and say, "Turn that into the desk on your way out."
Will do. Pleasure coming in today. It was great talking to you. Sorry about what happened. Disheveled family members. What you gonna do?
Right. Just get on with your day. And he starts shuffling his papers. He's starting to act kind of dismissive.
I'll stand up and walk out.
All right. You walk back into the foyer. The door to the jails, the direction that you saw him take him to, is obviously to the left, directly at the very back of the police station. I presume that it shouldn't be any issue for you to go down there, figure it out. You open the door, you go down some stairs, and now you are in the jail area.
Preston, which one? Where are you? I'm kind of like walking down the aisle, looking.
My good
There's
friend
nobody in
Ralph.
this-
It's this one right here. Did you get what you needed?
It's Rex,
trust-
not Ralph.
Right. I trust
I
my
want to get that right
distraction
before
was
I let you out of
adequate.
here.
I could let myself out at any time. This
And I walk over.
It's
I put the
ridiculous.
key in.
Okay, yeah, the key turns, no problem, and the door cell swings open.
Ah, wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you, Rex. Did you get what you needed? Did I
Yeah,
give you the
actually
time?
got some information.
I tell you, there's nothing quite as thrilling as slapping an official in the face and then walking free. I tell you what.
He told me to keep you on a short leash and to not get in his way, and then get out of his town.
Sure he did. I'll do what I want. Now, did you get any information?
Yeah. There's a lot of people dying. They're trying to cover up the whole Peggy situation. They don't want the school, involved.
Well, we have figured
I told
out
him-
that thing lives at the school. Maybe we should just go deal with it.
Oh, actually, there was a window, by the way, with a sign that said mine on it, written by the thing. So,
Maybe the creature is territorial then. Not just a
Believe so.
lair, but some sort of like defensive position.
You thinking this thing is like putting up forward operating bases or something?
No, I think this thing is possibly very protective of the place that it stays or hunts at.
Good thought. Alright, let's get out of this man's office so he doesn't throw you back in the cell. We'll go find somebody to talk to. I think the others are at the school.
The school? Well, that's
I
not a
think so.
great place for them to be right now.
Especially now with it saying it's mine.
Yes, let's go let them know. At least Bonnie, she's useful. As far as any other leads, did he give you any other leads? Uh-oh.
Not really. Nope.
She'll be back in a second. Not really. All right. Okay.
Play things close to your chest, we see.
Yeah, lying to me.
I really just don't remember anything. Did he?
He told you to go talk to the captain.
Oh, yeah!
Holy shit, dude. That was like 8 minutes ago. I got a
my
timer
bad.
that says it. I keep giving you openings. I'm like, is he really just lying to me?
Rewind.
Okay. All right, shit.
He told me to go talk to this old dude who lost his nuts after his wife died. He lives in the woods.
Ah, I see. Maybe I should go talk to the old dude while you go find the others. I am incredibly good at speaking to people.
If you talk to an old dude, he might just shoot you.
Rex, you wonderful, simple-minded friend. I would like to point out that I only make people angry when I want them to be angry. If I want them to be happy with me, they'll be happy with me. Such as the bartender on the day one. He won't shoot.
You really want to split up? Usually, investigators and like police officers, they work in pairs for this kind of thing.
I mean, we've been split up this entire time. I mean, if you don't want to split up, that's
yeah,
fine.
but we've been going off as pairs. I just, I feel like you might not be able to handle yourself in a fight. So,
Oh no, I mean, I have my Schofield here, but I prefer not to shoot it. Much better at speaking. But you say this is an old
one of
man.
us. Well, I don't know how old. Could be in his 40s.
I mean, I'm not expecting fight here, Rex. But if you want
I'm
to stay
just saying
together,
it
we
could
can
be
stay
a
together.
fight.
If you wish
We'll
to
just
stay
stay together,
together, we can stay together. That's fine. I understand that you want to be around me. Most people do. Lead the way. Let's head to wherever wherever Bonnie and the useless one went.
I'll start walking up the stairs, and as I get up there, I'll put
I
the
follow.
keys in front of the old lady.
Okay, yeah, oh, thank you, dearie. As you walk out the police station door, where do you guys go?
We going to find those two, or are we going old man first?
Yeah, I said I follow you, ass. Yeah, where are we going?
Old man, we're going to old dude's house.
All right.
Okay. So I guess for this one, you kind of have general directions as to where it is. So it's not going to be too hard, but I think we still kind of need to do a awareness perception check as you're moving through this small little village. The difficulty is going to be, I'm going to say it's 5. There's 2 of you guys there, and you got some direction, so it's not going to be too hard.
I got it.
I rolled a 7.
Okay.
I rolled a 13.
All right. So you guys, with a 13, definitely you guys are able to make pretty decent time. You go down to the docks. You sort of look around. It's pretty easy to determine where a cottage would be. You know that it's north of the docks, so you start heading that direction. You see trees off there. You see a very picturesque beach stretching out away from the docks. This whole little area is a nice little cove. And to the north, you see the beach sort of is low tide. It's nice, wet, glassy sand. To your left is a thick tree line. It's starting to turn autumn. It's not quite chilled yet, but all of the leaves are turning that beautiful red and gold color. You walk a little further, and then nestled just past the trees, just outside of where the water would rise to during high tide, is a little tiny cottage, if you could call it that. It could also be called a shack. It's not in great shape. There are steps leading up to the door. It's on sort of a pier and beam sort of setup, but there's no skirting around it. It looks pretty rough. There's a little fireplace. It's a moderately decent size from the outside, from what you can see, and it's all shaded by the trees below. You actually can't really see it unless you're walking up from the beach.
Preston would just be irritated. I thirst for civilization.
You know, it's actually a pretty nice place to live if it wasn't for all the dying kids.
Oh, the dying kids. I prefer paved roads, nice buildings, wonderful clubs. This is a shithole.
What city do you live in? Because New York ain't nothing like that. It's full of trash and gutter sewage.
My New York is like that. New York for commoners are full of trash and gutter sewage.
All right. I'm going to start walking up to the front door.
All right.
All right. You walk up to the front door. You climb the steps. What do you do?
Just give it some, like, friendly knocks. Not doing the cop knock, just kind of...
Okay, you knock a few times.
Dot, 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 dot.
But nothing happens. You wait a moment. Nobody comes to the door.
Is there a window next to the door?
Yeah, there's a window set in the door.
I'd kind of, like, tip my head over and look next to it. Or through it.
Roll a perception awareness.
I'm going to try the door. Is it locked?
You grab the handle, you wiggle it. It is, in fact, locked.
Okay. Then I'm going to unlock that bitch.
What was the difficulty in that roll?
10.
I got 9.
The window's pretty frosted over from age. This is old, dusty glass. It's kind of hard to see in there. I'd say, I mean, you can't really see anything. It's dark also in there. So there's not much for you to be able to really glean through looking through this old, dusty window. Preston, you want to do...
Yeah, I'm pulling out my lockpicks.
All right.
Key to the city,
so
old chap.
That's going to be rogue agility, right?
Yes. You
All
need
right.
to give me a difficulty, though.
10.
I'd look over and be like, what are you doing? This is a man's house.
Yes, my dear boy. It is. If you could call it that.
There is laws to this place.
I'm spending 2 momentum to reroll, and I look at Rex and I go, do you believe that the stalker we are hunting is concerned as to whether I break into this man's home or not? If it gives us more information, it is worth the risk. And I'll tell you what else is worth the risk. Getting out of this crap hole. Rerolling. Okay, that time I got an 11.
Okay. You're able to fiddle with the locks.
Yeah.
It gives you a little bit of trouble, like because it's old and rusty as opposed to being a good lock. But you do get it. You pop it, and the door swings open. You look inside, and you see a pretty messy cottage. The mothballs sort of smell, the dust. It is a lived-in cottage, but it is not a pleasant abode.
I call into it and go, excuse me, taxman, have to talk to you about your taxes. Anybody home? Government official here.
Preston, nobody wants to talk to the tax guy.
No, but they don't want to shoot them either, because if they do, they go to jail.
You wait a moment, and you don't hear anything.
I look at you, Rex, and I go, "Do you want to come in with me, or shall I go alone?"
I pull out my flashlight and turn it on.
Okay. You guys enter
Yeah.
an investigation area.
Does he need the flashlight? We're still in the middle of the day, right?
Yeah,
So
it's
dark
probably around like late morning, like noon almost.
Is it just badly lit inside?
But it is
Okay.
dark
All
inside.
right. My bad.
It is dark. There are big trees covering it. It's not lit.
Okay.
The windows are small. It's a shack.
Okay.
So
Let
it's
me
a
do
dark
detective
shack in the
things, Zach. Come on.
I wasn't arguing. Oh my God. I can't win.
All right, and with that, let's jump over to the library gang. All right. So who do we leave off last with the library gang?
We actually don't really know, 'cause, I
both
know
failed.
I was looking at the thing on the ground, and Bonnie was kind of rummaging around freely.
Yeah. All questions had been asked, but they had failed to
Okay.
find administration.
Yeah.
All right. So why don't we start with Elliot and his epic journey of being
Repaired him.
Maintenance.
prepared him. So you're standing in there. The librarian has just made a phone call. What do you do?
You know what? I think I've got an idea that's going to sow even more chaos into the
Yay.
situation, but it may work in our
Maintenance.
favor. So he asks, do you happen to see the girl that came in here with me? Do you happen to see which way she went? I gotta find her.
She looked. Bonnie rolled an exceptional stealth check when she was trying to sneak in. There was a girl that came in here with you.
Yeah,
No, I
absolutely.
did not.
He's
When did
seeing girls now.
what? I didn't see anybody with you.
Yeah, she went up and like that way, like just kind of points over.
Okay. Well, why don't you just wait right here, and I'll see if I can't find your friend. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maintenance will be coming to talk to you in just some minutes. Just wait right here. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Okay.
The clock is now
Okay.
ticking.
I was about to say,
Just
if
stands
Maven
up.
shows up with white coats and a giant flycatcher net, you're in trouble.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So now that I have a couple spare seconds, while the librarian goes to find the person she doesn't know exists. She doesn't even know who she's looking for. She's just gone.
You're looking for a strange girl who's accompanied a strange man.
Girl. So the desk then that the librarian was at, is this just like the librarian's desk, or is this like librarian's desk ... registrar ... like, multiple hats sort of situation?
Well, as you look at the desk just at a glance, you see that it's a big, wide desk. There is a card catalog behind there. There are file boxes underneath the card catalog at basically desk level. It's all polished oak. It's very nice, like everything else in this college. So that's what you see at a glance when you're looking at it.
So in one of the moments of clarity that Elliot has, he wants to look in. There should be some sort of like filing the filing system for keeping track of the books.
Yeah,
I want to see the card catalog. Yeah, I want to see if I can find where like a school history book, like a book about the school would be.
Okay. I guess that would be I think this should be an intelligence check. because you're going through a card catalog. Do you guys remember card catalogs?
Yes.
They weren't fun.
No. Not at all. Not even close.
No
I thought
clue
they
what that is.
were.
Don't worry about it.
So
Gary. You'll never have
if you
to.
have a
Think
skill
of
you
a
want to...
giant. No, we need to take a second just so
no.
you know what's happening.
It's like
Oh,
a
wait,
giant-
before he
giant-
say he doesn't know?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is
My
a
school
giant
didn't have a library.
dresser-esque thing that's just full of drawers with alphabetically labels on them. And when you open them up, there's a list of all of the books in the library and where they're located.
Yep.
But
Going by
even
the-
worse than that, the books aren't lined out in a library
No.
alphabetically.
No.
They're set up by sort of sections that are kind of associated with each other in ways that only a trained master librarian can understand.
That's
It's
why you need a master's.
in decimal code, no less. The location is marked by decimal coordinates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's even worse when you start to go into like the old libraries that had the news that would keep all the newspapers on microfilm. To go through those, that would just be like years and years and years of fucking microfilm on newspapers. Yeah, oh yeah. It's all on the internet now, baby.
Basically,
Like I said,
you need to
Corey,
be
you'll
like
never have to deal with
CIA
Ever.
decoder.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna roll this and fail miserably. 7.
Yeah, it was going to be a difficulty of 10. Because they're hard. Those
Yeah.
things are hard.
Doesn't matter what die I take. I'm just gonna start rolling 4 at a time and pick the highest one. It's not gonna matter.
Look, man, there's gonna come a point, Neil, when we're gonna have to fight this thing. You're gonna be a
Oh,
star.
because that
then.
went well for me last
You're gonna
time.
be a
Yeah,
star.
we
then.
forget what happened last time.
That's literally what happened last time. It just
Even
turned
if you
into a
never
slap
hit
fight.
it, you're gonna be a star because you could just throw your meaty body at it,
Right.
and keep us alive. Because I am a
Okay.
napkin. I am a napkin that talks really good. That's it.
Anything else you want to do at the moment?
Fuck no, because that shot and the dice betrayed me.
All right. Why don't we jump over to Bonnie while you think about your next move? Bonnie. Where you're still standing in this wing full of art.
So I failed at trying to find the admissions office.
You could roll for that again if you walked around a bit and started looking.
Oh,
for
can
it.
I? Oh.
Yeah, you were just looking from this one wing that you were standing in. But go through there's a huge freaking library to go discover. A librarian may be hunting you.
I can't stay in one spot for too long.
Mr. X. It's just Mr. X stomping through the library trying to find you.
What do I have? What's the difficulty?
What are you trying to do?
I want to try to find a room for admissions.
Okay. So I guess you leave this hall and start going into the rest of the library. Roll a awareness perception.
Seven.
Jesus Christ, what is happening?
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was also going to be a 10. It's a very big library. You need to start giving you guys your difficulty before. That does not do it.
Next hunt, we gotta switch up partners. It's like all the rolls. All the rolls are over here. We need like one good roller on the other side.
I just want to let you know, because I was screwing around before when I said I was going to roll all 4 of the d20s I have over here. 4 of the past 6 to 10 times that I've rolled all 4 of these, they've all been single digits.
It's rough.
You're due.
It's rough.
We'll go with that. We'll say that you're due.
You're due. You're due,
It's
sir.
just like at Vegas. Oh, one more time.
Yeah.
Only
I won't lose my house.
That's true. Or will you? The stakes just got even worse. Bonnie, what else? Is there anything else you want to do in the library? Look for.
I see if I can find the history section, because usually libraries like that have like a section of like a town history and stuff like that. Can I see if I can find that area?
Yes, go ahead and roll a perception awareness. This one is actually going to be a 5.
Okay.
For reasons that will hopefully be apparent if you don't roll yet again under a 5.
I got 13.
All right.
Hey.
You go through the library and you do find very easily on the second floor you see a sign that says history. It's in a beautiful elaborate script on a tin that has been plaqued over this wing, this area. All of these stacks are in there. When you get up there, you realize it is a pretty prominent part of the library. That's why the difficulty was so low. It's a very large chunk of the library that you're looking at here. And now you are actually, this is another area where a clue could be found. So
is this a full there's still one more investigation area. Oh no, wait.
Yes.
No, I'm wrong. Never
We
mind.
have had 3 official investigation area, 1 impromptu investigation area.
Yeah, no, you're still in the investigation area, and they've only actually hit 2. I in my head I was doing the wrong counting. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Don't listen to me. You don't have to explain yourself. Just be like, Zach, you don't know me. Shut up, Zach.
So the skills for this area is going to be mechanics and knowledge. And don't forget, guys, another player can still investigate the same area if they have skills appropriate for that area.
That's not okay.
Is that not right?
That's not right. Once the thing has been investigated, it's done.
Okay.
That's why they pick which person.
Who person?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So mechanics and knowledge actually would be appropriate for the history area.
Okay. I'm gonna go with knowledge, obviously.
That made sense.
20.
God,
Here it
Jesus
comes.
Christ.
Here it comes.
Nope.
No. 6.
Oof. It's not a fail. You didn't give him extra darkness points. It's
Yeah.
It's not great.
upside.
Um.
She gets a little bit of lore from that. That's all she gets.
Okay. A little bit of lore.
Yeah.
Okay.
6 to 10 is the little bit of lore.
So as you look through this area, you see all of these different types of histories. One history seems to be particularly prominent of a culture that had disappeared a long time ago. It's one of the most ancient cultures discovered to date. Obviously, the culture that you have been sort of encountering since coming to this town. The culture had sort of named themselves the Nocturne. And so you see multiple books discussing Nocturne. Most of them appear to be written by the same author. That author being the founder of this school, the dean's father, which was double checking his name. That was one. Jonathan Reynolds Sr. And yeah, I guess with a bit of lore mixed in there, I would say, just from the bit of lore, one of the most prominent things that you recognize is the repetition of a theme. The gateway to the ethereal realm is a theme that seems to be frequently found in many of these books. Okay. Craig. Elliot Craig.
Elliot Craig.
So I think at this point I can kind of free roam because there's nobody really stopping me.
Until maintenance gets here.
Until maintenance gets there. So did I look for an admissions office? I don't think I did. I looked for something else. I know you rolled.
I didn't think you looked for anything.
But you did not roll for an admissions office.
Lord knows I ain't done nothing. So yeah, I'm gonna see if there's an admission here.
Okay.
Or at least where they keep the records.
The difficulty is 15.
Jesus. Yeah, no, 10.
Hey, double digits though.
Yeah,
coming up.
That's 10 with a modifier. That's 10 with a modifier.
All right, well, never mind. Take it all back.
Fuck you then.
Being as I am kind of left alone right now, just for sheer curiosity's sake.
Hold on.
Okay.
You got a 10. You did a check.
Yes.
So I'm going to say that though you didn't find what you were looking for, with a difficulty of 10, you did find something else.
Okay.
That's fair.
You found an architecture section. And something about like some of the books that you can see just displayed openly on that in that section seem to be pertaining to ancient architecture.
Does it look like there's any books that are out of place per se? Like, funny, what's this doing over here, sort of?
Okay, so you go over to that section of the stacks. Roll a perception awareness.
4. Jesus.
This is rough. This is
really bad. This
it's hard
is
to watch.
This
hard
is
to be
worse
present
than
for.
I've rolled in literally anything ever.
Yeah.
This is pretty rough. I will say, like, if you're just looking, you went in there specifically looking for anything missing at a glance.
If you're the game master, this campaign's over. I killed all your bad guys already.
Oh, if I was running this game, I would have just straight bold-faced lying about what my rolls are. I will get to that point, because I've had nights like that before to where I just cannot roll for shit, and I'm like,
you're
no!
You're opening a can of worms. The TTRPG people are going to come out on this. Half of them are going to be like, how dare you! Cheat, and then another half are going to be like, "Oh, it's fine. He's good." And TTRPG Twitter is constantly arguing about that, like whether you should fudge the rules or not.
I'm always a roll fudger, and in the opposite way as well.
I will watch you die. I will watch the life leave your eyes as a game master. I have nothing against fudgers, though. I'm not militant like some of the psychopaths out there. But I will definitely watch your character not only live up to their expectations, but die in a back alley because they tripped on a fucking rat and fell on a spike. And I'll be like, make a new character. Sucks to be him. Sorry.
Okay. You are in another clue area. The skills used to figure out this clue would be perception, mechanics, knowledge, and phylactery. The perception check that you requested was a requested roll for something specific. So I'm not really counting. That doesn't really pertain to how the
Right.
investigation clue areas work exactly. So you can roll perception awareness if you want. You can roll mechanics, intelligence, knowledge intelligence, and phylactery intelligence.
Well, one of them.
Yeah.
I'll roll the phylactery intelligence. Change it
Get
up
that
a little bit.
phylactery going.
Well, 14.
Hey, that gives you a question, and that gives you, this was a clue roll, right?
Yes, it was a clue roll.
He gets a general knowledge and one question.
Right.
That is not a failure. That is a successor.
So general knowledge. Okay, so you're an expert in phylactery, or at least you're very familiar with phylactery, how they're made, what they're used for. You're looking at all of these different. You know that this culture is tied into the school's history. It's tied into this stalker. And you're looking through all of these different pieces of architecture about this ancient ruins that were found in the middle of nowhere. Reynolds Sr., the founder of this school, isn't the only person that was actually investigating this culture or this location. He just seems to be the most obsessed. There's several other writers in this section specifically looking at the ruins. And there's just something that clicks in your head. Sometimes like stalkers will have items with them that are very like good for using phylactery, because though they weren't part of the stalker himself, sometimes you can get like the fangs of a vampire or the claws of a werewolf. Sometimes it's something that the stalker owned that might be tied to a location, or might be even a location itself. So, with all of this architecture here, you start to think that maybe there's an actual physical object that could be relatively important to the stalker.
I thought you got a yes or no, because I got a good one for you.
I have two of them. I'm just deciding between which one I want to do.
Okay.
You can spitball them to the crowd if you want without actually asking me.
I'm between. Is this phylactery in this building, or have we already seen this phylactery before?
Yeah, I have this weird sneaking suspicion it's the obelisk in the courtyard.
Surprise! It's the tin cup.
I was thinking that.
But I don't know. I think both of those questions are actually pretty good, personally.
Yeah.
Though I don't know. That's pretty solid though.
It is, but if we're wrong, we get no new information from it. This is the trickiness of the system, because a no doesn't really help you. A yes helps you. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, we would eliminate that as the phylactery, but at the same time, it would be a pretty big fucking phylactery. Like if he's speaking specifically of like a handheld object, like you're not walking around with a giant obelisk that's a fucking in the middle of a fucking fountain or whatever that thing was, So I don't know. It's tricky.
And the thing that's killing me too is when we first encountered it, that's where it was near that obelisk.
Yeah.
If I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah.
So then,
and not to metagame, but you put it with the clue that Bonnie got about the gateway to the ether, the ethereal, the gateway to the ethereal plane from Bonnie's clue. I mean, that's metagaming. Obviously, you wouldn't be using that, but like just as players looking at it from as a whole, like that could be the gateway right there, and that's how the thing goes back and forth.
I feel like, yeah, that.
But this is like your last investigation clue period for us. Like this is it. We don't have any more investigation
sites. And you want to give it to me. And you want to give it to me.
I didn't want to give it to you. You have it. There wasn't a selection process.
Well, I mean, I guess
yours.
We could just straight up ask if the obelisk is the phylactery, and then if we're wrong, then we're just whole fucked.
Yeah, then we're whole fucked. Then we just have to go to the school and try and like feel our way through the dark, because there's no more. We not only did we not get it, we got an extra investigation site, and we don't have any weaknesses. We do know it's an eldritch horror. We know that it hunts at the school. We know that's its territory, so we have to fight it at the school, or it'll just go back there. But other than that, and we know that it kills through dreams, and that it's somehow connected to this ancient culture of the Nocturne. But we are... We're swimming, baby. We're swimming. It's going to be a rough one.
All right, then I'm just going to go ahead and ask. I'll just ask it. Is the obelisk the phylactery?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, baby! Fucking yeah!
Yes, it is.
Fucking yeah! So if we go after the obelisk, we might be able to kill the whole fucking thing. If it's that closely attached to it.
Potentially.
Because there's like totems. Like certain stalkers have like totems and shit. We might be able to like seriously damage it by just destroying the fucking phylactery.
I mean, could it also be possible at the same time, though, that the phylactery could be a way to like keep the thing in check? Like if we destroy the phylactery, then it just starts going crazy.
I don't think so. I don't. Just the way the game is put together, like.
Okay. Before we get into too much more, we still have two other characters I want to finish up with real quick.
Yeah. Sorry. We're like making battle plans for the finale.
You guys did walk into another investigation check, or investigation area.
Oh, we're getting a fifth one. We're lucky. Wiz is just throwing us bone after bone after bone after bone.
It's game one. I think we should go easy on the first timers, which is everyone, including me.
How many is the clues? How many of the clues? And what are the clues? Skills clues.
There are three different clues in McCready's shack / cottage. See, we have the first one is occult, bestiary, and knowledge.
That ain't me.
That ain't me.
Then we have the second one is perception, mythos, and phylactery and merchant.
Oh, that could be either one of us, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because I have mythos.
And then the third one is mythos and bestiary.
That'll be me.
Yeah, I think you're definitely taking the third one. The second one, I do have merchant. What's the stat with the merchant one?
What do you mean?
Clue 2. What's
this is
the
one
stat?
of the clue checks.
Yeah, what's the stat?
Oh,
like the attribute.
The attribute. Yeah, I got
Sorry,
you.
I was saying.
The attribute is going to be intelligence.
Okay, so I would have a 5 on that. What would you have on that second one?
4, so you can have the second one.
Okay, so then the first one, what were the skill stuff for the first one?
Skill stuff would be occult, bestiary, and knowledge.
Occult, bestiary, and knowledge. I have none of those. What is the attribute?
So for occult, it's going to be intelligence, bestiary, intelligence, and then knowledge intelligence. So it's all intelligence.
All right, so I have a 3 bonus on that from my intelligence.
I have a 3 bonus on that.
Nice. Okay, so it doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah.
One of us is rolling. All right. What do you want to do? I know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to do with this one. You roll for it.
Okay.
So
is
let's
this for
do
the
that
first
first one. Yeah, first one. The occult bestiary. He's rolling intelligence, and then I'm gonna back you up with my. I hate to use them now and not in the combat, but I've got 2 nice rolls. That'll get us 3 questions on that one if you fail, and if not,
I
can save it for the later.
I got a 17.
Oh, that's full 3 plus lore, so you don't need any of my fucking rolls.
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay. So that's just straight intelligence. So you don't have. Okay. So 17 is a really good one. Okay. So when you look at this, you see a giant mess of papers and what is kind of a living room. What probably should be a living room. There's a chair. There's a coffee table. There's an stand, and there's a bunch of papers everywhere, and books and all of this dusty tomes and all of this stuff. It's nothing that you would expect to necessarily see in a shack out here, but maybe in a crazy guy's shack. Yeah, that seems to track. Looking through all of these papers and these notes, you sort of ruffle through them. You're a private investigator. This is what you do. You see a reoccurring theme here of these weird supernatural occurrences that seem to be happening in the village. A lot of them are actually recording the various deaths of young people who have died surprisingly too quickly. Newspaper clippings, even photographs of various locations that these deaths may have happened to. And as you look through these, you suddenly realize that there's on these notes and in these photographs a certain symbol that appears again and again and again. It's a symbol that you probably have already seen, either on the obelisk or in some of the scratchings that Preston has already given you. But then all of a sudden, like, you look at it in a certain way, and you realize that this symbol looks actually a bit like an eye, and different symbols look a little bit different. And as you flip through them, it almost looks like an eye that is half closed, and then another symbol is a little bit more open, and another symbol is a little bit more open, another symbol that is very wide. And then the widest, most open eye that you can see there, and then it's very cryptographic, but there seems to be lines coming off of it, like a zigzagging effect all the way around this open eye.
You got 3 questions, buddy.
Yep. Gonna need some help, most likely.
No problem.
Does the eye have something to do with the weakness of the stalker?
Yes.
That was a good one, man. That was a good start. Good opener.
That is a good open.
If Pokemon has taught me anything, it's psychic.
I was thinking dark.
Dark, yeah.
Dark or psychic.
Yeah.
We're fucking fighting a Ghastly over
It's
here.
probably a dark psychic type. Who knows? Has to do. Is the eye involved in some kind of ritual or incantation we would do or could be done?
No.
Anyone want to help me with this third one?
It's tough because I know what I want to find a way to get to the question of, but it's about the fucking obelisk. It's not about the eye. But you stumbled on the eye being part of the weakness.
It's only because I'm reading and it says weakness and says imagery, so I was like, oh, hi.
Maybe, so it's not part of a ritual or incantation, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's imagery. Like, maybe the eye is like, if this thing looks at this design, this eye, it hurts the stalker in some way.
Wouldn't that be some shit if we just stop it with a picture?
If we should stop it with a picture, maybe.
Should that be my question?
I think that's a good. I mean, it would rule out the imagery if he says no for the eye. At the very least, we would get closer to what we're doing with the eye to stop it. You know.
Does the stalker get damaged if it looks at the eye?
Does the stalker get damaged if it looks at the eye? Is the specific question that was just asked, and no.
And see, I feel like it doesn't get damaged, but it loses powers or something.
You know what?
That was your third question, right?
I know. Can I use my torch to ask one additional question?
Yeah, you can. Fuck yeah, you can.
Oh yeah.
You would gain 1 darkness point.
Sorry.
I am not looking forward to when he starts spending those.
Does looking at the eye affect the stalker in any negative way?
No.
Damn.
So
Let's leave it look at
It's
it.
not imagery. It's not imagery. I don't know. Maybe we gotta draw the eye on the fucking stalker.
But
Tattoo
it does
it.
damage. It is related to a weakness.
It does. It is related to a weakness. We didn't get that wrong. Okay.
What if the squiggles around the eye means we just have to shake really fast so that we vibrate and it can't?
What if we just have to
us?
fight it with our eyes closed?
Oh, I've got a couple of ideas. All right, so I'm gonna roll for mine, which is the merchant, right?
Okay. Yes.
Here we go. Ooh. Okay, so that is 12 plus my intelligence of a 3 brings us up to a 15. Merchant gets me over the mark to a 17. 3 questions and some general lore about the merchant.
Okay. As you're going down like this narrow hallway, very short hallway in this very small cottage, you look to the side, and this dusty wall to your right bears a very decorative frame with a beautiful painting in the middle of it. A very well-crafted painting. Painting is of clearly the obelisk that you have already encountered at the center of the college. Although it's not at the college, and its surroundings are in fact a mountain or a hillside with this group of people all sort of layered around the bottom of it. The sky is stormy. The obelisk, which has like a weird twist to it, has a line of light sort of shining out through the center of this twisting nature of this obelisk, and runes, the carvings seem to be lit up on the sides of the obelisk.
Dude, they
some
took
of them.
this fucking obelisk to something, and the thing came with it. Okay, I'm gonna ask right off the bat. First question: if I destroy the obelisk, will it have a negative effect on the creature?
Yes.
Yeah.
This thing straight up is the marker from Dead Space.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
was a bit of an inspiration on the design.
Definitely feeling that. Okay, all right. Second question. Because of all this eye mumbo jumbo, can the creature turn invisible?
Invisible. I double checked, but I don't believe so.
Okay. Right.
No, we can't.
I was wondering if that was something to do with the eye.
I mean, we just gotta fight it with our eyes shut.
Here's what I was thinking. I almost wonder if it's Freddy Krueger rules.
Yeah, like you got to bring it out and then
Yeah.
fucking kill him there, and that's
So,
how we
like,
have to do
it primarily hunts in dreams and sleep. But if somebody
Right.
goes to sleep and just watches and notices you start to go into like a dream state or whatever,
Right.
just violently shake you awake and see if that fucks it up.
And it's always with the obelisk. So, like, they pulled the obelisk here. It hunts within the radius of the obelisk. The obelisk gives it its powers. I wonder if destroying the obelisk makes it physical again. Somehow. Okay, so I have one more question, right?
Yes.
Don't want to waste a question on that because I know the answer. have a negative effect. Do I want to get more specific with the obelisk? Like what the obelisk destroying it would be? I mean, it might be a throwaway, but I could be like, does the having the obelisk destroy it make it physical? Does the destroying the obelisk make it damage? Does the obelisk take its powers away? You know, I could get very specific with it. What do you guys think? Anybody want to throw a vote out?
I like the idea of if it is destroyed, does it give it physical form? Because it has nowhere to go. Like if it's a hiding spot for it or something.
Okay. Wizard.
Yes.
If we destroy the obelisk, will it force this creature to have a physical form?
Yes.
Feeling good in the neighborhood. Feeling good on a Wednesday. All right. That's my last question. It's down to you,
Thrash it in
Rex.
the middle of the afternoon.
I was about to say, after we're done with this, we're gonna go right to that. We're gonna find you guys. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. It's gonna be no time.
I did a quick Google search on how easy it was to purchase dynamite in the 50s. Turns out it was extremely easy.
Excellent.
You went to any farm and feed store and they had it.
Dude, we don't need
Perfect.
dynamite. We've got Elliot and his wrench. Go maintenance it.
Yeah.
He's not going to maintenance a stone.
He's strong.
You've been maintained.
He's got
That's his,
maintenance wrench.
his catchphrase.
And dynamite's cooler.
Your dynamite is cooler. All right, you've got
I
one
think
more roll,
maintenancing
man.
it is cooler. Get that wrench out.
Rex, you got your
I'm
call
gonna
roll, man.
strip the screw
Oh, yeah,
really
call
good.
Or not your call roll, your mythos roll at the end.
That's right. That's what it was with those.
Yeah.
Is +4. That is an 11.
That would be one question and the lore.
Okay.
Just barely.
Okay. As you're looking through this room, this very small cottage, something weird suddenly catches your eye. You have these weird occult books, you have these notes, it's dusty, and you look over, you notice that there's a placemat, just a doormat, just inside of the front door. Then you realize it's not a doormat. It's kind of like a illustration on like this piece of wood, and it's pretty clearly a maze. Then you look over and you see on a nearby windowsill, Rubik's cubes weren't invented back then, but you see like a little toy finger puzzle thing. I don't know, like it's one of those two
Hellraiser box.
those two nails that are sort of like
There
linked
are
together that
rules
you have
in
to
this
figure out
game,
how to
Neil,
unlink.
for a Hellraiser box, just so you know.
Oh, great.
We could 100% run into a stalker. Their weakness is a Hellraiser box. Just letting you know. I built that shit in.
Oh yeah. And you see on the back door, there seems to be a just like a scattering of like these little puzzle pieces littering the floor next to the back door, just everywhere. They're muddy. He trods over them. Doesn't really care about them, but they're just everywhere.
Weird.
It's really weird. There's reoccurring here. Every entrance seems to have some kind of weird little puzzly thing. A maze, a little hand puzzle thing. There's a little the maze tiles near the back door. You see like a spiky little puzzle box, and you know that if you touch it, some monster from another realm will come out and eat your face. No, you don't see that one.
The puzzles are traps.
Everything's a trap. So you get one question. Make it a doozy. 'Cause this is it, baby boy. After this, we have to go fight that fucking thing.
Well, after this, we gotta go buy dynamite to blow up.
Yeah, with dynamite, gotcha.
I'm getting dynamite.
Wizard's definitely going to let us have dynamite on an isolated fishing island. He's definitely going to do that. You're just going to walk into a store and be like, can I have some dynamite? And they're going to be like, sure, man. It's 1950s. Everybody's got dynamite. My kids play with dynamite. Yeah. I light my fires with dynamite. Like, yeah, that's what's going to happen.
You never know.
Manage your expectations. That's all I'm saying.
As long as you don't try to find it at 7 o'clock at night.
If we were in a mining town or a large town, I would be like, yeah, definitely, we're finding dynamite. But we're on a fucking fishing. We're in a fishing town.
You never heard of fishing with dynamite?
I literally have to say that.
I have. I don't think these people do it, and they certainly don't do it in a college town of artists.
But it is a fishing town.
I like that. I like that you've got Kayla. You got Kayla. So. Ask a question.
What kind of question has to do with puzzles?
What is the air-laden velocity of an air-laden swallow?
We broke into Jigsaw's house.
Yeah, I kind of want to leave this house before McCready gets home. I'm not gonna lie.
It's not McCready. It's a girl named Amanda wearing a pig outfit.
Oh, no, thank you.
Never mind.
That was Saw 2, the worst of the Saw movies. Thank you.
Which one had the Wahlberg?
That was
There's 2 or 3, right?
Yeah, it might have been, I think, 4 or 5.
Because they throw in the pit of needles, and he's like looking for
the
his
pit
kid.
of needles is the second one.
Oh, okay.
Jesus.
Welcome,
I think
everybody,
he's
to
in the
Saw
second one, then.
Podcast.
I've seen the majority of those movies too.
All right, film time.
Does anybody want to give him a hand? We
Please
helped
help.
everybody else out.
Please help.
Man,
I like the idea of our puzzles like traps.
yeah, there's some about this puzzle thing,
There's
right?
some.
Because he keeps pointing out the maze and he keeps pointing out the eye, but it's not about looking at it.
I wanted to ask if the puzzles were like a defense thing, but he said the maze wasn't a ward or anything.
Right.
So
Right. So there's no way that, like,
Right. Well,
That's
a
gonna be
ward
weird.
and a trap are two totally different things, though.
true.
When you say ward, I think magic spell of some kind. Like
Yeah.
when I think he was saying that is this thing a magic spell on the ground?
Yeah.
like, does it protect you from the thing?
I guess I should have clarified. I was going more so for like a repellent of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
Like any kind of repellent is what he's saying. Like not just a ward, but something that would keep the creature away from that thing. Like push it
Which
away.
is where I think we arrive at the distinction between a trap and a ward.
I think of a trap as like do harm or catch.
Yeah.
Because, well, especially with the meta knowledge that I have, I forget what it is, but
What if,
there's some like mythological creature or something to where like labyrinths are there to basically be a trap for the thing, whatever
Right.
that thing is, to like effectively make its way in, and then it can never leave because it can't figure out how to get out.
what if
I'm
it's
assuming puzzles are the same thing.
right? That's not a bad idea. What if it's something to the point of like doing puzzles keeps the creature from getting to you, like almost like a fidget to somebody with ADHD. Like it's something that wards off the activity of doing a puzzle. Like that's why he has them everywhere, but he doesn't necessarily care about them. They're like the same as like empty water bottles to him. Like he needs a puzzle to keep the creature from accessing his brain, basically.
Like keeping his brain busy.
Yeah, like it's not necessarily a ward, but like the act itself of doing puzzles keeps the creature from getting into your head.
I would suggest. I think the most that we have gotten, the best questions that we have gotten this game have been from the GM perspective, have been sort of broader questions that encapsulate like a larger like degree of possibilities. Like the one who said it was it Corey's last one where he was like, "Does this hurt?"
Yeah.
Man.
You know,
Does it have a negative effect on the creature? Does the eye have a negative effect on the creature?
Does doing puzzles protect us from some kind of mind action?
so does you doing puzzles protect your mind from the creature?
Yes.
No.
All right, let's go find some dynamite.
Okay. I think this might be a good time to end the game.
Yeah, I think so. Since I think next session is going to be the finale
Dynamite.
finale of Hun 1, I believe.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, guys. Well, it's been a lot of fun. Before we close out the night, does anybody want to shout out anything?
I mean, I just do the podcast, the other podcast, the.
No, man, he doesn't even know the
Game
fucking
podcast.
name of it.
I'm
265 episodes. He can't even come up with the name of the
I'm
podcast.
misfiring so bad right now.
Good God.
Wouldn't be as bad as when Zach asked me for leads and I completely forgot about the old dude living in the
Tonight's episode should be called Misfire or Bad Rolls,
Yeah.
one of the two.
That's that's bad.
Neil is the co-host on a horrible gaming podcast on the gaming side, the video game side of our channel, with me, the longest running show on the channel.
I know.
At this point, I think we're at 265, 267, something like that.
We're up there.
Yeah, too many. But
Too many.
But yeah, I'll shout out the channel, everything we have there. If you're listening to this, there's a lot of TTRPG stuff coming out right now on this channel. We also have video game stuff. Please check that out if you're interested in that. But we have a ton of TTRPG stuff, and it is all also available in video form on Spotify as well, if you'd prefer to listen there. So, and it's all available on wizardsofspite.com. So check it out there. And I get the view there anyway, so who gives a shit?
Kayla, you have anything you want to shout out real quick?
No, I'm not interesting.
She is interesting. She does the Lasso stream with me and Neil. Go back and check out Red Fall Down, which was absolutely one of the most fun times and also worst times I've ever had playing video games with those two. We've done many streams
back
together.
through it again.
No, I can't do it to myself. As much fun, I would rather find a new shitty game than do that again with you guys. I couldn't. It was so much fun because I was playing it with you guys, but it was just the worst game I've ever played in my life. It was just so bad at all times.
We earned all those rare achievements.
I cannot believe
Fair
we
and
beat
square.
The game itself started to self-destruct at the end because nobody had been there to beta test it ever. Like, they had all walked away from it. So, like, the final 2 hours of that was the buggiest, craziest shit I've ever seen. And have you ever seen beating a game as a rare achievement, Corey?
No.
It was a rare achievement we got for completing the
That
game.
poor game.
Because nobody
love
was
the-
playing it anymore.
I love the devs of that game too. I don't know why it just went so far downhill.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible.
Okay, so Kayla is an interesting person.
Yes, she is.
Corey, is there anything you'd like to shout out?
No, I actually am a boring person. I don't do anything.
He's gonna be.
You do.
I got him
Ordo
on this show.
Scriptorium.
Yeah. We'll get you on more, Corey. We got you on one. We'll get you in all of them. Once my talons are in you, you're part of the channel and you just do shows. It's the way it is. Hey, you frown all you want, Kayla. You've done a lot of shows with us. Once I've got you, it's called the vortex of old man gaming. Yeah, it's the vortex of Zach. Once I have you, you're just stuck in it. You're just doomed to be nagged by me for the rest of your life.
Yep, pretty much. Okay, well, Zach's already said it. My plug for the evening is wizardsrespite.com. All of these episodes can be there. I also do a bunch of different articles pertaining to the industry and different aspects of the TTRPG.
Interesting article about probability, by the way.
Oh,
probability
cool.
of dice rolls.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a lot of fun to do. Zach and I had a lot of fun with that one. There's a bunch out there.
We talked about that on the podcast too. That was really cool.
What's that?
Yeah, we talked about that article on the TTRPG podcast you and I do, and that was really cool. That was really fun to do.
The podcast that I always screw up because the names just like play havoc between Ordo Scriptorium and Wizards Respite Sanctorum. My dyslexia does not like that.
You got it.
It does not like that.
I get it.
But before we go tonight, guys, I would just want to say thank you. This was a lot of fun playing. I'm really enjoying this game with you guys, and I really hope you don't all die next.
I'm really looking forward to the next session. Really looking forward to it. Anybody out there who's stuck with us this long, do not sleep on the next one, because it's going to be a banger one way or another.
Zach's going to die.
Probably.
It might not even be from the stalker. Just guaranteed.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. I mean, this is the part that I'm useless at. Like while I've been annoying, I've pulled my weight as far as contributing to figuring out what's going on. But here I'm done. Like, I'll shoot my gun a couple of times and miss and then die. Like, that's it.
So we'll be watching the death of Preston, Hawthorne, Hewitt, Thaddeus, Montgomery, the 17th.
That's too
Some
many.
of those names were right. Some of those names were right.
You got all of the names in there. There was just way more extra. And I don't have a number. I'm a middle child. That's where all his problems come from.
Preston Thaddeus Howlett III.
No, it's just Preston Thaddeus Howlett. His older brother is a third. He doesn't get shit. That's the reason he's a piece of shit. Is like his brother is like, I'm gonna take over the company, and his younger brother is like, I'm pretty, so I'm gonna be a politician, and he's just like, I'll just do cocaine and have sex with people. Like, that's his whole thing. I'll just spend the money.
Arguably the better life.
Yeah, he's pretty sad. I mean, we
typical middle child syndrome.
Yeah, I've been trying to play him with some nuance. He had a pretty depressing night that first night. I tried to play it out there. I put some role play seeds out there. He's not just a hey, I'm fucking annoying the entire time character. I mean, he is, but there's layers. There's layers to Preston. If he survives, maybe we'll see him.
Okay, guys. Well then,
yeah, we talked too long.
I think I wanted to try and get out of here earlier because I know you guys are all a time zone ahead of me and you're probably dying by now. But this time it was not my fault.
No, we talked. It happened.
But again, it was a lot of fun. So good night, y'all, and we'll be seeing you guys next time.
Later, bye.